Put your last 20 ads on one screen. Go on, actually do it. Grid view, all of them. Same face, same kitchen, same opening shot of the product on the counter. Same voice saying a slightly different sentence. You did not make 20 ads. You made one ad 20 times. And you have been paying Meta to show people the same idea in 20 thin disguises. And then you wondered why it fatigued. Hi, I'm Asher, and you're listening to Content is Currency. Today we are talking about the Sameness Audit, the 20-minute exercise that shows you exactly why your creative burns out fast and your brand never builds, and the production rules that stop the clones at the source. By the end of this episode, you will know how to score your own account and what to ship instead. Let's go. Here is what sameness costs. First, it burns your audience faster. Fatigue is not per ad, it is per idea. So 20 versions of one idea fatigue together, like one big ad with one big frequency number. Second, it poisons your testing. You think you have tested video 5 times, but you tested the same argument 5 times. So the learning says video does not work when the truth is that argument is exhausted. Third, the quiet one, it costs you the brand. An account full of near identical ads never gives anyone anything to remember. So every campaign starts from 0 with strangers. And fourth, your team feels it. Nobody is excited to make the 21st version. Sameness is not a taste problem. It is a compounding tax on media, on learning, and on memory, and you are paying it monthly. Open your wardrobe. If you are like most people, there was a season of your life when you found a shirt that worked and you bought it again. Same cut, different week. It felt like a system. Then one morning you are staring at 20 shirts and you say the famous sentence, "I have nothing to wear." You do not lack shirts. You lack difference. Every hanger holds the same decision, made 20 times, and no combination of them makes a new outfit. That is your ad account. 20 assets, one decision. And the fix in the wardrobe is the fix in the account. You do not need to burn it down. You need to name what you actually have, notice the 20 duplicates, and buy the things that are missing on purpose. So why does every account drift to sameness? Because sameness is what success looks like 1 week at a time. An ad wins, so the next brief says, like that one. The same creator gets booked because she delivered. The same editor cuts it with the same habits. The brief specifies the look, warm kitchen, morning light, and never the argument. And the whole category is copying the same 3 big brands. So even your new ideas arrive pre-cloned, camouflaged into the exact feed they need to interrupt. Nobody chose this. 20 reasonable decisions chose it, which is exactly why willpower will not fix it. If the system rewards resemblance every single week, resemblance is what you will get. You do not need better taste. You need rules that force difference into the batch before anyone's taste gets a vote. The fix is the Sameness Audit, and it runs in 3 lanes. Lane 1, the scorecard. 5 columns that measure how alike your last 20 ads actually are, so the clone cluster stops being a feeling and becomes a number. Lane 2, the diversity quota. Batch rules that make the next round of production structurally unable to clone itself. Lane 3, the outlier slot. A protected slice of budget for one deliberately strange ad per batch, because outliers are where the next winner has been hiding all along. Measure the sameness, block the clones, fund the strange. Let me walk each lane. Lane 1, the scorecard. Pull your last 20 ads into a grid and score 5 columns. Opening frame, what is literally on screen in second one. Count the duplicates. Angle, which argument the ad makes. The problem, the science, the ritual, the identity. Most accounts run 2. Format, talking head, UGC, demo, meme, count those. Voice, who is speaking, founder, creator, voiceover, text only. Emotional register. Is it earnest, funny, urgent, calm? Most accounts have exactly one feeling. Any column where 15 of 20 match, that is your clone dimension, and it is also your fatigue source because the audience experiences that column as one ad. 20 minutes, one spreadsheet, and you now know precisely what different should mean in your next brief. Not different for its own sake. Different where you are uniform. Lane 2, the diversity quota. The audit shows you the problem. The quota stops it recurring. Write batch rules and put them in the brief template so they apply while nobody is watching. No more than 2 ads per angle per batch. At least 3 formats per batch. At least 2 voices. And if the founder is one of them, good. No repeating last batch's dominant opening frame. These feel like constraints. They are actually insurance against false learning because a batch built on quotas tests 5 arguments instead of retesting 1, so every pound of test spend buys new information. And here is the discipline that matters. The quota outranks the mood. The week everyone is in love with one concept is exactly the week the quota earns its keep, because that love is how the clones got in last time. Lane 3, the outlier slot. Every batch ships 1 ad that makes the room slightly nervous. 10% of the batch budget, no more, so it cannot hurt you. And it is protected, so good taste cannot quietly delete it. The outlier breaks your rules on purpose. Different humor, different pace, no product for the first 10 seconds. A take the category would never run. 2 things happen. Most weeks it loses politely, and you have paid a small fee to know where the edge is. But some weeks it wins, and when an outlier wins, it wins differently. It opens a lane the clones could never find, and next quarter's account gets built on it. Every breakout ad you have ever envied was some founder's nervous 10%. The slot is how you buy lottery tickets with the maths in your favor. Here is your week. Monday, build the grid. Last 20 ads, screenshots in one view, no scoring yet, just look, because the seeing is half the medicine. Tuesday, score the 5 columns, opening frame, angle, format, voice, register and circle every column where 15 match. Wednesday, take the dominant clone and retire its brief, not the live ads, the brief that keeps producing it. Thursday, write the quota into your batch template, 2 per angle, 3 formats, 2 voices, and brief the next batch against it. Friday, choose the outlier, fund it at 10% and tell whoever made it that its job is to be interesting, not safe. 20 ads that look like 20 ads. That is the whole assignment. I'm Asher. This was Content is Currency from Table 8. We'll see you next episode.